they're going to be working with. Now, we also want to show you another way that we can train these animals. That way of training them is similar to what you are doing right now, watching the animals. Because on their own, they do some pretty cool things. Listen over here. Do you hear that noise the beluga whale is making? It's a great way to communicate with other whales. Or you'll hear another sound. These whales are known as canaries of the sea, and that's because of all those sounds that they make. Or when we see them playing, you might even see a beluga whale make a big splash. Now, whenever we see or hear the beluga whales do these amazing natural behaviors, we blow the whistle. Do you remember what that whistle sound means? It means thank you or good job. When the animals know that we like something that they do, there's a good chance that they'll do it again. Then when they start to repeat this behavior, that's when we assign a hand signal to it to ask them to do it on cue. And that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you how that hand signal works with the whistle. To do that, let's focus over here where Andrew is working with Nunavik, the youngest beluga whale here at Shed at 2 years old. We're going to show you a very special, very fun behavior that Nunavik can perform. But timing here is important, so watch for the hand signal and listen for the whistle. Here we go. Here's the hand signal. And Nunavik spits in Andrew's face. Now that's what we were asking Nunavik to do. We blew the whistle at a very specific time. We blew the whistle right as that water hit Andrew in the face. That told Nunavik that that is what we are looking for. But we can blow the whistle at different times. So that's what we're going to do again right now. We are going to blow the whistle a little bit later this time. Let's see how this affects what Nunavik did earlier. So let's watch once again. Here comes that hand signal. There's the hand signal. There's one spit, no whistle. 2 spits, 3 spits, 4, 5, no 6th, no 6th. Well, 5's fine. Now, we blow the whistle to let Nunavik know that that's the end of the game. Now we're going to try again, because we did blow the whistle, Nunavik stopped. Let's see now if we can try again, because Andrew isn't wet enough apparently. Well, there we go, there's 2, 3, and we'll blow the whistle on the 3rd. How about a big round of applause for Nunavik? And Andrew, thank you very much. Now, folks, we also want to show you why this training is so important. Here at Shed Aquarium, our ultimate goal is to provide an exceptional health care to the animals that call Shed home. If we look into the habitat, we can actually see some of the ways in which we provide care to the animals. For instance, over here to the island on the left, once again, where Andrew and Nunavik are working together. Andrew is asked Nunavik to open wide, and he's looking inside of Nunavik's mouth, checking on the health of Nunavik's teeth, his tongue, and his gums. The game aspect of this comes into how we ask Nunavik and encourage him to open his mouth. You saw Andrew using that spray bottle. The dolphins and whales have very sensitive mouths. They enjoy the tingling sensation on their mouth. It's a great way to encourage them to open their mouth. Now, you'll also see some other games going on inside the habitat as well. For instance, if you look towards the back of the habitat, you'll see that we're working on a particular game with Bella. To administer medicine to the whales, we will stick a tube all the way down their mouths directly into their stomach. Now, this might sound uncomfortable for a human being, but beluga whales swallow their food whole. They don't have any gag reflex at all. This actually could be sort of a pleasurable experience for a whale, that feeling. They sort of get reminded of what it feels like to eat a piece of fish. So what we do right there is we simply practice how that feels. So that way, when it comes time to administer medicine, it's something that we're used to. Now, if you look over here to the island on the right, you'll see that we are joined by that very special guest that you met earlier. That's Jenisis. Nikki, the beluga whale that Jenisis is working with, isn't very familiar with Jenisis. She's an unfamiliar face to Nikki. Well, during their lives here at Shed, these whales will have to be veterinarians who they don't see as often as their trainers. So by having unfamiliar faces like Jenisis accompany the trainers and have it provide positive experience, play and have fun with the whales, that lets the whales know that this is something the whales can look forward to. These unfamiliar people are fun and exciting. So thank you so much for your help, Jenisis. How about a big round of applause for Jenisis? We might be seeing a future beluga whale trainer out there. Now, we are going to say goodbye to the beluga whales. Please join me in waving goodbye to Mickey. Now, folks, we want to show you another animal. We want to show you how all of this training comes together. Now, when we bring one animal from the habitat and then another animal in after that, we have to make sure that, well, that first animal is actually out and safely in a different habitat. That's because this training is successful because we try to make sure that there's very few distractions during the training. Something that could be a little bit distracting for this next animal is having some beluga whales here in the habitat. So we're asking the whales now to find their shapes in another location. Now once that move is complete, we are going to reintroduce you to and welcome back out the Pacific white-sided dolphins. Now, when we bring the animals back out, you're going to see how we put that training together. Now, it's very important for these animals to have variety in their training. So we actually vary how the show looks to you and to the animals every single time that we do it. For instance, this time we started the show with the dolphins out there. Other times, in fact, this morning at our 10:30 show, we started with the beluga whales. Even the order that these animals join us in these training sessions, that helps us make sure that we provide that variety that these very intelligent animals thrive on. It's a great way to develop them. Now, all the whales that you saw in this training have been trained since the